Thanks for tuning in to A Better World, where we aim to illustrate that today is the greatest time to be alive and show the progress we're making as a civilization. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, and in today's episode, we'll be going over an article that I read from National Review, and it's titled Apple, Google Strike a Blow Against the College Cartel. Now, the article starts off with a report from Glassdoor, listings on Glassdoor, which, if you don't know, is a place where you go to look up salaries for jobs or look up jobs if you're in the job market. Kind of like Indeed or MonsterJobs.com, those kind of things. And so they had 15 major companies with job postings. And what they did was take some of their entry-level and mid-level positions and take away the requirement for a degree. So some of those positions entailed like a barista, an Apple genius, or even a senior manager of finance. And the companies that did this, as we already know from the title, Apple, Google, Starbucks, Whole Foods, Costco's, and Bank of America. So these companies, what they're doing is really, really good because most people that come from my generation were told that college is the way to go, that you have to go to college. And what has happened is that now we have a saturated market with a bunch of people who have degrees but are doing nothing with those degrees. And we have in some cases where people are just racking up degrees on top of degrees just because that's what they want to do. They like to learn. So they go to school, they get a bunch of degrees, and they either work in the administration or they work in the university as a professor or they do something not even related to any of those degrees. And what happens is because you saturate the market with those degrees, then they become almost worthless. Almost. Because you have thousands upon thousands, maybe even millions of people with a business degree, and in reality, how many of those people really need a business degree with what they wanted to do? And not only that, but then you have a bunch of people incurring debt because they're told this is the way to go. So my take on college nowadays is I feel that it is more of a status symbol, almost in a way like a keeping up with the Joneses, because if you're not pressured by your parents, you'll probably be at least a little bit pressured by your friends, if not directly, indirectly through social media and through stories of them telling you ragers at college and things like that. And so we forget the whole aspect of college is to go to learn a set of skills so that way you can become employable or become a leader in the future, when now it seems that we look at college more as 4 years of hardcore partying. And that isn't good. And actually, in 2017, Harvard Business School study found that these people who graduated from college, had a bachelor's degree, and were in these mid-level positions, like the mid-level jobs that like Apple, Google, Starbucks, etc., have taken away the requirement for a degree. Well, they found out that the college students, the college graduates who had a bachelor's degree and were in these mid-level positions didn't really show any more initiative than somebody that came fresh out of high school and who had experience. And actually they showed a really high turnover rate, even higher than those that, just graduated high school. And also they cost a lot more money because there's this stigma around them that since they went to school, they know what they're doing, which we all know isn't true. And basically what these companies are trying to do now is go into a new direction where we put a preference on experience and not put education on a pedestal so much, because as we all know, there are people who we know that are incredibly book smart but have no worldly smarts, or they went to school and mastered a skill set, and then they go out into the work field and realize that it's nothing like it was in the school. And I think a lot of employers are starting to notice this. And this is actually going to help a lot of people out, because there was like an estimated if I remember in the article correctly, there was like an estimated 6 million jobs, something like that, were encompassed in these entry-level and mid-level positions that required a degree. And not only that, but 61% of employers state that they will reject a applicant if they didn't have an education, even if they had met all the requirements for the job description, but if they didn't have a degree, they didn't want them, which to me seems a little ridiculous, because would you rather have somebody who is fresh out of college, maybe worked a couple internships, maybe worked a couple part-time jobs in the summer, who knows, hell, maybe even worked full-time while going to school. But regardless, would you rather have somebody who's brand new to this field, like I said, maybe just a little bit of experience and an education to come in, or would you rather have somebody who has 20 years experience but no degree and a great resume and beautiful recommendations from their former employee, from their former employers or coworkers, so on and so forth? Who would you rather have? Now, in my opinion, I think I would pick the person with experience. However, I can see on the flip side why you would want somebody who is fresh out of college with a bachelor's degree in whatever profession or industry that you're in. And the reason for that is because they're going in there with a completely different perspective, and they may ask some questions that other people aren't thinking of asking because they don't think much of those particular questions. And so they may be able to bring new ideas, is what I'm saying, because they're not as engulfed in the industry yet. And so that can be a good thing. However, I do think that it is unfair for people who have just as much experience, more experience than somebody coming right out of college, and them not being able to have the same opportunity, with over half employers doing this. 61% said that they rejected workers that didn't have a degree, even if they met the skill set and job requirement. That to me is a little crazy. But we're seeing it, we're definitely seeing a change in direction here with these companies, and these big companies kind of, I think, lead the way for a lot of business culture that we see in our world, in our country, I should say, that we see in our world. They create a lot of the culture, and other businesses are going to follow them. And so I think this is going to be a good thing, especially for people who are older and don't have a college degree but have a ton of experience and are damn good at their job. But because they don't have a college degree, they're kind of stuck at one place. And they're stuck at one place because companies don't want them because they don't have a degree. But that looks like it's changing. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's going to open up the market for so many more people. And it's going to open up opportunities for more people as well to become even more successful than they imagined they could be. And not only that, but it'll also show people that you don't need to go to college to be successful. That's another thing that we need to start teaching people, that, hey, you can go to trade schools. You can just get an apprenticeship right after school and make very good money doing that. Unfortunately, for a long time, we've been putting college on a pedestal, that this is the only route that you can go to achieve the success that you want to achieve in life. And that is way wrong, but it looks like that we're heading in a different direction, and that's awesome. That's really, really good, and I'm glad that this is happening because, like I said, it's just going to open up so many opportunities for so many more people. So beautiful things are happening, especially in the business world, as we see here, eliminating the degree requirement for some entry and mid-level jobs. So hopefully, moving forward, people who don't have college degrees but have experience can get those jobs they deserve, even if they don't have that degree, So, thank you for tuning in to A Better World. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And like always, if you like what you heard or saw, please subscribe, share it if you think a friend will get something out of it. And don't forget to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you guys have any suggestions on a topic that you would like me to cover, please let me know. And I will do my research and let you know if we can cover that topic. All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you later.